Support comes from the Missouri Forest Products Association, providing more than 41,000 jobs in the production of wood pallets, railroad ties, white oak barrels, hardwood floors, and more. Details at choosewood.com.
Thank you for listening to this St. Louis on the Air podcast brought to you by Lindenwood University's Hammond Institute for Free Enterprise, examining market approaches to help solve economic and social issues, hammond.institute.
Welcome to St. Louis on the Air. I'm Don Marsh. The Oscars will be awarded Sunday night. They may not have an MC, but they will apparently be broadcasting all categories. That should make our next guest happy. Native St. Louisan Kevin Mays, Normandy High School class of 1980. He's a tailor with the design team who did the costumes for the blockbuster nominee Black Panther. The team is nominated for Best Costume Design. Mays has worked on a number of films, including Selma, Being Mary Jane, and many, many others. He joins us by phone. Kevin, welcome. Say hello to your hometown.
Hello, St. Louis. Well, the joy is to be back home, even though I'm there in spirit.
Well, it's great to hear from you. Hey, it looks like you've got yourself hooked up with one of the big favorites Sunday night.
Yes, I love it. Black Panther, we finally got nominated in 7 categories, including Best Costume, which actually means so much to me and my crew of tailors.
How many tailors do you have on a project like this?
It depends on the budget of the film. So for this particular film, I think we had like about 12 tailors. We had people from California, people from Atlanta, Georgia, all over.
Well, this was quite a challenge, I would guess, for designers and for tailors. I mean, given what Black Panther is and the kind of costuming required, a lot of challenges there, I would think.
Yes, many challenges bringing I guess, the motherland, Africa, to life, giving it full spirituality through costumes, textures, fabrics. I love it. All for St. Louis. Mm-hmm.
Well, how do you research that?
Well, actually, I work for the designer of the Black Panther, Ruth Carter. I'm usually her head tailor on a few of her films that she's done. She does all the research from I guess, go to the libraries and different computers nowadays you can use, and then that's how she gets to create her designs.
What did you learn through all of this? I mean, obviously, she did a lot of work, and you had a wide variety of costuming to be dealing with. What did you learn about, for instance, Africa and African clothes, if you will, clothing, costumes?
Oh, I've learned so much about textures and fabrics, and what you see on television really isn't what's happening. You have to go visit these countries, which I haven't been to Africa yet, but I plan on going, and just to get the full and richness of the country itself.
My understanding is, and I'm just going to back up a little bit here, my understanding is that just getting this project off the ground, and maybe you weren't involved in this, but I suspect you know something about it, it was a little bit difficult, as I understand it, to convince the studios that a picture like this should be made.
Well, that's what I heard, but a picture like this probably should have been made like years ago, because it's time. Well, there's a timing for everything. So now it's time to come for the film to come to its like a total fulfillment. So everything happens for a time and a reason.
I'm sure it's going to inspire many similar kinds of films and many similar kinds of productions in the future, given how successful it was.
Mm-hmm. Well, hopefully that's the plan. So it can bring a lot of people that haven't been in the light to the full light as leading actors instead of supporting actors. So it's a challenge that's about to happen. I think Black Panther has changed in many situations as far as bringing diversity to film, to leading roles.
Do you have any knowledge of any kind of a sequel or continuing this trend? The whole Marvel comic component seems to be working very well these days.
Well, actually, there will be a sequel that should be coming up in the next 3 or 4 months, or by the end of the year. There will be a Black Panther 2.
A Black Panther 2. Will you be involved in that?
Oh, yes, definitely. So I was the head tailor on one. So, and since we're nominated, hopefully we'll win the best costume category, but we're nominated for 7. So hopefully everything goes as planned, and in the future.
If you do win, what does it mean to you?
Oh, it means that means the world. It's a time for a change. That's what it means. This winning means a change for the movie industry, and a change spiritually as an individual. It helps me grow as a person to know that I can bring someone else's reality, I mean, dream into and make it into a reality.
It doesn't hurt the career at all, does it?
No, it doesn't.
How much of a difference is it doing work, your work on a film like this, and doing one on a film that would deal with kind of everyday costume design?
Where this is more of a fantasy, so I get to really be creative as far as bringing my designers, Ruth Carter's visions to life. And me and my group of tailors, with the best tailors in Atlanta and California. So it was a dream come true for all of us. Thank God to Ruth Carter.
Yeah, well, I'm sure she's very happy and has her
Yes.
fingers crossed. One of the things that I saw in getting ready for our discussion was, and I hadn't really thought much about
Hmm.
this, the importance of the costuming with regard to merchandising. Obviously, particularly with a film like this,
Hmm.
you can sell a lot of costumes and a lot of things to the public.
Oh yes, Marvel had to come in and collaborate with the designer so they can sell the costumes that we created to, I guess, to the masses overseas and into to America. So
All about money, isn't it? They,
it's
they're,
all about
they
that green.
Did you have much green in your costumes?
Mhm. Oh yes, we use all kind of colors on all kind of budgets also. So
What
we made the dream her reality come to a dream. So it was wonderful.
what kind of a budget do you have for something like this?
Well, actually, the plan it depends on the producer. So we had, I think it was like close to 3 million or 2.5 million budget to start. So we just have to work within that budget and make the film look as beautiful as it can on that budget. So I think we went beyond. So
Tell me how you work. I mean, you're talking about you have a team of tailors.
mhm.
What is the process for that? You have the design, then what happens?
Yeah, Ruth gives us a design, and then I appoint the tailors to create. Maybe she has 10 sketches, and each designer or tailor will have a sketch, and they will have to make it from the pattern, the flat pattern, to draping it to the final product, and then she comes and approves it, and then the network comes and approves it. We have a meeting, and all the costumes are lined up in order, and then the network comes in. Yes, change this, keep this, change that. So that's how that process works. Mhm.
Do you do you I have read that you have designed outfits for some of the stars of the film for the various premieres that were held
Oh
in
yes,
other parts of the
Lupita.
world. Yeah.
Yeah, I made a red and gold. Well, people thought it was a dress, but it was actually a jumpsuit. For Lupita had a premiere in South Africa for the Black Panther opening in South Africa.
Are you designing it or sewing or anything or tailoring anything for Sunday night for any of the people involved?
Well, actually, I won't be because I have to work. I'm doing another television project, and I won't be able to attend the award. So hopefully, I'll be there in spirit with Ruth. So I didn't get a chance to design anything this year.
That has to be a disappointment
Mhm.
for you.
It's a very, it's a disappointment and a blessing because it's a blessing I can relax and hopefully we'll take this Oscar for best costume. So I don't have to be there working that day. So I can relax and watch it on television.
Well, you and about a billion other people are going to be doing that. No question.
Yes, with our fingers crossed.
Yeah. I'm asked to ask you a question about whether the
Hmm.
special effects, the CG elements in a movie like this affect the costume design. I would think that it might.
Oh yeah, the special effects we have to see what's going on like behind on the green screen, because it adds different colors and elements to Ruth's designs and her creativity as she designs the outfit according to the sets and the stages.
How did all this get started for you?
Actually, it got started by accident. Someone needed a tailor for a movie, and so I decided. Someone called me, and they introduced me to Ruth. And from that theater project that we did, Ruth took me to our first movie, which was called "The Price of Glory" with Jimmy Smith. It was about boxing, and that's how I started. Accident.
How tough is it to break into the business in this particular field?
Well, actually, it's kind of hard, but you have to work at least 30 days on a union project before you can even be considered to join the union. But the ideal is to get to the union project. So they make it kind of difficult, and it's just kind of all in who you know also. I hate to say it, but that's the truth.
Was this a particular challenge for you when you heard you were having this assignment and it was an Afro-futuristic kind of thing? Did you say to yourself, oh my God, how am I going to pull this off?
No, I said, thank you, Jesus. It's about time. Because I love to be creative. I would love to make a dress, then hem a skirt or do a pair of pants. I hate alterations, but I do them anyway. But to create, I couldn't wait. It was a dream come true. I think I was more happier than Ruth, the design.
The looking ahead,
Mhm.
you're a busy guy. Obviously, you got some things in the pipeline. What's ahead for you?
Well, actually, I'm doing television show with Cardi B, Ti, and Chance the Rapper right now, and from there, I'm doing another movie project with Ruth, and from there, we're gonna probably go straight into Black Panther 2 near the end of the year.
I think I'd heard that you were going to be involved in a Richard Pryor biopic.
Well, that was in the talks, but they keep presenting it, and then it goes away in the distance. So I think they're still talking about that. But I would love to come to St. Louis because St. Louis has this new fashion I see of designers coming. So I would love to come and maybe do a talk or a project with the St. Louis alumni.
Well, I'm sure that St.
Hmm.
Louis would love to have you.
Yes.
It is home after all. How about a Spider-Man spinoff? I think I read something about that too.
Yeah, there's a spinoff of Spider-Man, but it's kind of like a hush hush right now. So we won't know until the studios decide to greenlight the project.
Well, it sounds like you're a busy guy, and
Hmm.
we are happy to hear that things are going so well for you.
Hmm.
Do you miss St. Louis?
I miss St. Louis so much, and since St. Louis will always be home, I don't care where I travel. All across the world, St. Louis is always number one.
Where do you live now?
I live in Hollywood,
Of,
California.
of course.
Hmm. Yeah.
That makes
But
all
for right now,
that makes all the sense in the world. Well, we
but
want.
my home is St. Louis.
All right.
Okay.
Well, you let us know when you're in town. We'd like to meet you and talk to you in person
Oh,
when
thank
you
you,
come
Don.
back.
And you will. Hmm.
Good luck on Sunday night.
Okay, thank you, Don, and I enjoyed talking with you all.
Same here. Thank you. Thanks to hometowner Kevin Mays. Good luck at the Oscars. This is St. Louis on the Air on St. Louis Public Radio, 90.7 KWMU.
Support comes from the Missouri Forest Products Association, committed to conservation and careful management of the state's forests to make them more resilient and better habitats for wildlife. ChooseWood.com.